Great Pyramid of Giza. How were the pyramids built? Ramp theory debunked. Internal ramp theory. Jean-Pierre Houdin. Muon tomography. Ancient engineering. Egyptian history. Honichai theory. Unbuilding hypothesis. Structural analysis. Megalithic structures. Surprising facts. Surprising fact 711. Archaeologists. The Great Pyramid. Architecture. Architecture student. Architect. Female architect. Life of an architect. Architecture life. Ancient engineering. Ramp theory. In 1993, astrophysicist Robert Bauval published something that the official archaeological community received with a kind of silence that speaks louder than any refutation. Bauval had noticed and mathematically documented that the three pyramids of Giza are not positioned randomly in relation to one another.
When viewed from above, the relative size of each pyramid and the arrangement of the tree on the plateau mirror with striking precision the three stars of Orion's belt, Aunitak, Aunilam, and Mintaka. It is not a vague resemblance. It is a verifiable structural correspondence, including the fact that the smallest pyramid is slightly offset to the side, exactly as Mintaka is slightly offset relative to the axis formed by the other two stars. But here is the detail that transforms this from an astronomical curiosity into a serious chronological problem for the official timeline. Orion's belt, like every constellation, changes its apparent position in the sky over millennia due to the precision of Earth's axis.
When Bauval calculou a histórico momento em que Orion's belt would have been in the exact position reflected by the pyramids, directly aligned to the south on the horizon, the year that appeared was 10,500 BC, 12,500 years ago. That is more than double the age attributed to the Great Pyramid by mainstream narrative, and it places the original conception of the structure, or at least the master plan of the Giza Plateau, deep in the Ice Age, before what textbooks recognize as any organized civilization. But this is where it becomes more complicated than it first appears. Because Bauval is not alone. Geologist Robert Schoch of Boston University analyzed the erosion patterns on the walls of the Sphinx enclosure, the ditch surrounding the Sphinx, not the statue itself.
The type G erosion he identified as not consistent with wind is sand, which are the dominant weathering forces in the Sahara. It is water erosion, the kind caused by heavy, sustained rainfall over long periods of time. The Sahara has not experienced that kind of rainfall for at least 11,000 years. Schoch presented this work in 1991 at a geological conference, and the geologists present agreed with his methodology. The reaction from the Egyptological community was different. There was no formal technical refutation. There was personal discrediting, withdrawal of site access, and of course Zahi Hawass, then Egypt's Minister of Antiquities, prohibiting Schoch from continuing research at the site. No documented official explanation, just access denied. Do you begin to see the pattern? It is not that the questions are answered. It is that the questions are silenced.
Isso matters, because what Schoch e Bauval suggest, independentemente de diferentes disciplinas convergindo no mesmo time frame, alinha com uma descoberta que veio após eles e é ainda mais difícil de ignorar. Göbekli Tepe. In 1994, German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt began excavating a site in southeastern Turkey que quietamente desmontou várias fundacionais assunções de arqueologia convencional. O que ele encavou foram elaborately carved stone pillars arranged in concentric circles, bearing sophisticated reliefs of animals and abstract symbols. Carbon dating stratigraphy placed the construction of the site around 9600 BC, at least 6,000 years before Stonehenge and more than 5,000 years before textbooks claim organized agriculture began.
Evidence of this impact has been identified at more than 50 sites across 4 continents in the form of nanodiamonds, platinum spherules, and combustion layers associated with extraterrestrial impacts. This is not mythology, this is datable stratigraphy. And if this is true, if a civilization existed prior to the Younger Dryas and was effectively reset, then the Great Pyramid may not be the product of a young civilization attempting to impress the gods with a tomb. It may be something else entirely. An artifact of preservation, a marker, a repository of encoded knowledge in stone intended for any sufficiently advanced future civilization, meaning us, to eventually decode. A granite hard drive with a 4,500-year warranty. Now, let me be honest with you. There is no definitive direct proof connecting the Great Pyramid to a pre-Younger Dryas civilization.
What exists instead is converging evidence from multiple independent disciplines: astronomy, geology, mathematics, archaeology, all pointing in the same direction, that the history we have been taught about the beginning of human civilization is at the very least incomplete. And the reason this conversation is suppressed, not refuted with arguments, but suppressed through denied access, withdrawn funding, and damaged careers, is because the implications are immeasurable. If a technically advanced civilization existed before us and was destroyed, then the entire concept of linear human progress collapses. The idea that we represent the highest point human intelligence has ever achieved falls apart, and with it a series of political, religious, and academic narratives that depend on that linearity to exist. Zahi Hawass built an entire career on the official version.
Academic institutions have published decades of research based on it. Egyptian tourism has generated billions selling that story. It is not simple to acknowledge that the foundation may be wrong, but the empty chamber is still there. 30 meters of unexplained space inside the most studied structure on the planet, mapped with muons in 2017. Still unopened. Somewhere above the Grand Gallery, behind limestone blocks that no camera has ever filmed from the inside, there may be something that would rewrite everything. Or it may be completely empty. No one knows. And while the answers remain locked behind bureaucracy and restricted access, the pyramid stands, aligned to true north with satellite-level precision, encoding Pi and Phi within its geometry, positioned near the geographical center of Earth's landmass, resonating in mathematical harmony with the planet, waiting.
If you want to understand what the Sphinx erosion may reveal about the original builders of the Giza Plateau, that next video will complete what we have only begun to uncover here.